Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ranjan Ghadai. Today I'm going to discuss on the topic which is very vital for all the researchers, for all the PhD scholars, MTech scholars, yeah, anyone, those who are doing any kind of research works, for them it is very vital. And the topic is UGC plagiarism rule. As all the higher educational institute all are affiliated with your UGC. So this UGC plagiarism rule is very much essential for all kind of researchers, whether it's a starting researchers mean he is doing the research at the primary level, or else if he is doing if he's an experienced person also. In that case, everyone should know the different regulation, different rules which has been put by UGC for all the institute under that. So we have to be very much careful. We have to go through all the rules which has been given by UGC, and we have to work according to that one, by which we will not be in trouble in future. That's why the you know learning all the rule to know about all the rules are very important. Now, going to the going about your plagiarism. First, what you understand by a plagiarism? Plagiarism, it can be defined as it is a representation of another author's language. You can say that their language, thoughts, ideas, or expression in your own original work, and without citing them, without giving them a proper citation. That will be considered to be a plagiarism. If you are just taking someone's data, someone's idea, someone's thought, and you are not giving proper citation, you are not giving proper credit to that particular person, that will be considered to be the plagiarism. So it can be defined as the practice of directly copying and then presenting an existing production without accurate citing or referencing, and or passing of the product as one's own without permission from the original producer. That's why whenever you are taking any kind of data, any kind of thought of other individual, you have to give a proper citation. Otherwise, it will be considered to be a plagiarism. And this plagiarism, it is most frequent offense under the academic code of conduct as a result of a lack of proper acknowledgement. That is, you can also say that this is a ultimate shame for the researchers, for the academician, or for the scientists, those who are doing this kind of thing. So we have to be very much careful while writing a articles or writing a PhD thesis, MTech thesis, whatever. In that case, we should know all kind of rule by which this we should not get involved in this kind of plagiarism issues. Because in if you see the statistics, here India is, I think, related to this kind of issues. India is in number two right now after China. I'm giving one statistics. It was published in 2019 by your Hindu, the newspaper Hindu. In that, it was written that since 1970, total number of retracted article. Retracted means those article which where the plagiarism issues are there, and due to that, the publisher, they retracted that one. Means the article will be available in the internet, and it will be shown as a retracted article. It is the ultimate shame for the researchers. If someone's article comes under that retraction, that means it is the ultimate shame for that particular person. So everyone should be very much careful related to that. So I'm telling you statistics. It was published in Hindu. In 2019, it was telling that since 1970, total number of retraction in the world is around. It's a not exact figure. It is around 18,000. And out of that 18,000, till now India is having. I mean, still this 2019, India is having 982 number of retracted articles. That is really in throughout the world. Total number of countries, I can say that it is more than 200, and total number was 18,000, and out of that India is having 982. This is a significant number. I think if you see the statistics, I think India is in number two in terms of retraction after China. And out of that 982 number of article, uh, that 300 330 number of article is due to plagiarism. I think one session was there related to your this publication, yeah, research ethics. In that I had mentioned what is plagiarism and what are the other kind of misconduct happens. I've already mentioned that thing out there. So out of that 982, around 330 number of article was retracted due to the plagiarism issue. And out of this 982, 118 paper from India, it has been retracted for the image duplication. What is the meaning of image here duplication? Image duplication means same kind of images you are using in number of articles or multiple number of articles. That is basically called as the image duplication. So out of that 982, 118 papers were there, which was due to image duplication or image manipulation. Means either you have changed some portion of the image and you have you have used that image in some article, or you have used the multiple same image in multiple articles. That is image duplication and manipulation. And 54 images, out of that 54 images manipulation, and the rest is the image duplication. Means out of 118, 118, 54 images were manipulated and the rest of the images were here duplicated. And if you see this number, this 982 number, all this number, if you see that number has been significantly increased after 2015. So the statistics tell that in 2015, the number of article, a total number of retracted article in India was 15, and then in 2016 it was 21. Likewise, 2017 it was somewhere in between 15 to 20. Then in 2018 it went up to 37 paper, and in 19 it was 18 number of paper. A lot of this good institute like your IITs, ISC, ISM, ITPHU, a lot of premier institute in India, they have come under this retraction. And two faculty from IIT, ISM Dhanbad, they have the record of maximum 20 article having retraction. So it's the ultimate shame for any kind of researchers if they are doing this kind of unethical thing for their research. And that's why after that, this UGC, they have made some strict rule and regulation to check this your plagiarism, you have to check this your this copy of images and all. Then they have made some strict rule by which if someone is found that he has done some kind of unethical thing in his research, then he will have to face severe action. That we'll discuss later on. What are the things, on which basis he will get that this on which basis he has to face what kind of significant consequences, that we'll discuss in the later on slide. But altogether, I'm just giving you the statistics, what is happening in India, and what is the record related to this plagiarism within India as compared to the other country of world. So the this objective of this UGC regulation, yeah, just due to that only the 2017-18 UGC made some strict rule related to this plagiarism issues. And the objective of this UGC regulation is to create some awareness about responsible conduct for academic research and writing, and promote academic integrity. And also it is due to yeah, it is for the prevention of plagiarism in academic writing, because see, previously there was no such kind of rule. So people, they do not people were not aware of that kind of plagiarism issues. But nowadays government, the UGC, they have already trained some of the already given some information related, yeah, a lot of information related to this plagiarism to all the university under UGC. And that higher the higher institute, they are doing some kind of thing to prevent that one. And to establish the system through education and training to facilitate this responsible conduct. They are conducting a number of training sessions and all, just to prevent that kind of thing. That is also an objective of UGC regulation. At the same time, to establish a system to detect plagiarism and set a prevention mechanism and punishment for those who breach the responsible conduct. See, at the end, if someone is repeatedly doing that, and if someone is, doing this plagiarism which is not acceptable one, if it is more than 60% and all, in that case severe consequences he has to face, and different rule they have made. On the basis of that, he has to face that particular consequences if he is doing some kind of unethical thing while writing a PhD thesis, while doing a research, or while writing a research article. In all sense, he has to face the consequence if that particular person is doing some kind of unethical thing. This is basically for the objective of UGC regulation, and it is very much necessary. And right now, it is very much stringent. If someone is doing that, then ultimately he has to face some problem. And this kind of things, regulation, it is also available throughout the world. If you send an article to any of the this journal and all, they have some kind of criteria. If you are doing, if you thought that you are doing some kind of unethical thing, it will be very tough for you to next time, very tough for you to send another article to that particular journal. Yeah, or you to that, they have their own contact, that you cannot send an article to the publisher also if it is a serious kind of mistake. Now, this coming to this year awareness program and training, means this due to your on the guidance of this UGC, your all the this HEI, means Higher Educational Institute, all the HEI, they are uh, conducting, they are giving some kind of training session program within their institute. And the duties of this HEI is like, this every HEI, they should establish the mechanism as prescribed in this regulation to enhance awareness about responsible conduct of research and academic activities, promotion of integrity, and deterrence from plagiarism. They have to create the awareness among the students, among the research scholars, among the faculty member, those who have less idea related to that, and due to that, they can minimize that one. Yeah, they can, fix this plagiarism issue within the university. So some kind of awareness program they have to do, and this slide is related to that only. This is telling that every this HEI, which every higher educational institute shall instruct the student, faculty, and staff about proper attribution, seeking permission of the author, wherever necessary, acknowledgement of source compatible with the needs and specifics of disciplines, and in accordance with rule and regulation governing the issue. At the same time, all HA, they should conduct a sensitization seminar, awareness program every semester on responsible conduct of research, project work, assignment like thesis. You can consider dissertation or dissertation, promotion of academic integrity and ethics in in education for student, faculty, and other members of academic staff. This is also important because if you will not create the awareness among the student, among the faculty member, among the research scholars, then they will not able to know about this particular rule and regulation. In each semester, a particular class, they will have a particular seminar they will have to organize, and someone who has better idea, someone from within the institute, he can give a seminar, can give a talk related to that in front of all the faculty member or all the research scholars within that particular institute. And this HEI, they shall include the uh, you know uh, cardinal principle of academic integrity in the curricula of undergraduate, postgraduate, and master degrees as compulsory coursework module. Uh, in your bachelor degree, also people they used to do some kind of research or project. Or similarly, in postgraduate, in PhD, they postgraduate also. 1 year is for 2 year project work, research work, but in PhD complete 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, that is for your research work. So there will be a, this compulsory subject which will tell the particular research scholar or student related to the ethics, related to the plagiarism issues, whether writing your PhD thesis or MTech thesis or your research articles. Then also HEI cell include elements of responsible conduct of research and duplication ethics as a compulsory coursework module for master and research scholars. That is also correct. If you go to any IITs, any NITs, yeah, any universities, they right now they are running the program where this there will be one course related to the plagiarism issue and research ethics, and everyone has to do that kind of work. This your HEI vessel include elements of responsible conduct of research and publication ethics in orientation and refresher course organized for faculty and staff member of this HEI. Faculty and staff member means all the your teaching and non-teaching staff. This institute has to conduct some kind of orientation program to sensitize the issue and to give some kind of details related to this kind of issues, by which they will be aware of such kind of situation. At the same time, this institute, higher educational institute, has to establish facility equipped with modern technology for detection of plagiarism. Right now, if you find a lot of special institute, they have such kind of software like Turnitin, Authenticate, but now UGC they have made a rule that every institute under UGC they have to keep that software, that is Urkun, that is basically it's a student-based software, and probably last year they have proposed this one, and a lot means almost all the university they are using that one, and I think right now if you compare between this Urkun with your Authenticate and Turnitin, the database, yeah, the strength of the database is bit low in case of Open as compared to this other two, Authenticate and this Turnitin, but still they are working on that, and they have made a uniformity that all the institute under UGC they have to keep this software for checking the plagiarism. And if you, the main reason is that a lot of private institutes they do not keep this, they do not able to keep this your Turnitin and Authenticate, because the charges for 1 year of that particular software is bit high. Some of the institute they do not purchase that particular software, and so what happens whenever someone is doing some kind of research, someone is writing some kind of articles, in that case they do not able to check their article by using this kind of software, and they send the article to the journal, and from there it may get rejected due to the plagiarism issue. That's why government has made a uniformity rule for this your different tools which is used to check the plagiarism of any kind of writing or any kind of articles. Then also this HEI they shall encourage the student, faculty, yeah, researchers and staff to register on international researchers registry system. There are a lot of systems, a lot of websites are there, agencies are there who also promote related to this research ethics, or also they create the awareness related to this research ethics. So these are the things right now. All the higher educational institute they are they are creating the awareness program and training among their staff, among their students, among their research scholars. Uh, Now, way to avoid the plagiarism, that is basically called as your curving plagiarism, means on which basis you can reduce the plagiarism or fix the plagiarism. It is related to that uh, this this higher educational institute they shall declare and implement the technology-based mechanism using appropriate software so as to ensure that documents such as thesis, dissertation, publication, or any other such document are free of plagiarism at the time of their submission. That's why if you go to any university, whenever you will have to submit an article, then they check the plagiarism of the thesis or dissertation, because you have to submit the hard copy as well as the soft copy of a thesis and your thesis or dissertation. And before checking, before submitting, and before the final submission, the university, they have such kind of process that you have to give a soft copy of your thesis, and that will be checked by the university. And that plagiarism report you will have to attach, or else you have to give to them whether it is yeah, less than the acceptance level or not. So in that way you have to check that one. That is also very important. And the mechanism as defined above shall be made accessible to all engaged in research work, including student, faculty, researchers, and staff. If you go to any IITs, NITs, or any good universities, what happens? This license they give to all the research scholars, all the faculty members, those who are actively participating in the research. And if someone is doing research like the BTech scholar, MTech scholar, they are doing also research. In that case, they can contact to their guide, they can contact to their senior, and they can also check their research article. Also, in some institute, they have kept that thing in the library. Anyone can go to the library, they can check their work, and they can get the plagiarism report. Then every student submitting a thesis, dissertation, or any other such documents to the higher educational institute shall submit an undertaking indicating that the document has been prepared by him or her, and that the document is his or her original work and free from any kind of plagiarism. That is also important whenever you submit the thesis, whenever you submit the dissertation, what happens? uh, the institute, they take a declaration from the particular student or from the particular research scholar, whether the work which he has done, or whether the work which he has written in that thesis, in that dissertation, that belongs to him only. That undertaking he has to give. At the same time, he will have to uh, confirm that there is no such kind of plagiarism which I have written here, the work which I have done. So that thing also, it is important for the institute. Then what will happen if in the later case they face such kind of problem? In that case, institute will not be responsible for that. The author has to face the serious consequence. And also the undertaking shall include the fact that the document has been duly checked through a plagiarism detection tool approved by your HCI. Previously, that was that plagiarism check tool was your Turnitin or Authenticate previously, but right now a lot of institutes, they are considering this Urkund as the standard software, and they are considering they take the plagiarism report of the Urkund from that particular research scholar, or from that particular student, while submitting his thesis or his uh, dissertation. And these are also the some of the ways like this higher education institute they shall develop a policy on plagiarism and get it approved by its relevant statutory bodies or authorities. The approved policies shall be placed on the home page of this particular institute. Every institute you will find the issue related to the plagiarism. These are the things we have very much stick to that, and all the people who are associated with that institute, they have to follow certain rules. Then each supervisor shall submit a certificate indicating that the work done by the researcher under him or her is plagiarism free. Whenever someone submit the thesis to that institute, what happens? The supervisor has to give a written that writing that the thesis, the dissertation which my scholar is submitting, that is completely plagiarism free. And also this HEI, they shall submit a uh, this influent soft copies of all the master research programs, dissertation, and thesis within a month after the award of degree for hosting it, the digital. digital repository under the Sudh Ganga e-repository. They have made one, such kind of platform, yeah, this what I can database where all this thesis that will be submitted there, and anytime anyone can, anytime that institute can check uh, whether whether there is no plagiarism or not. If someone complained that to that particular person, he has copied something from my paper. Suppose I am telling you one example. If that particular soft copy will be available in a common platform, it will be easily accessible and anyone can check that one. That's why they have made this Sudh Ganga e-repository, where all this master and PhD thesis they used to submit there, they used to store out there. Then this HEI, they shall create a institutional repository on institute website which shall include the thesis, dissertation, paper, publication, and other in-house publication. So that is also a lot of institute, yeah, maximum institute are doing that thing. And this is the regulation from the UGC, just to avoid this plagiarism. If someone will understand that my thesis, my work, my paper that is uh, getting saved in the institutional website, in that case, they will be more aware, they will be more, sincere to write the article without having any kind of plagiarism. Then, when they check this, your similarity, these are the things which do not include. Because see what happens whenever you give your article to check the plagiarism, what happens if someone has not that kind of idea related to the plagiarism, they check the complete article. That's why whenever you check, the option is there will be some kind of option, and there are some kind of option by which you can explore such kind of things, like all tutored work reproduced with all necessary permission and or the attribution. If something you have taken the permission from such your journals, yeah, some editor of the journal, in that case, that will not to be considered under the plagiarism issues. If someone is considering the image, suppose I'm giving an example, someone is considering the taking the image of your from a from a paper which has been already published in a journal. In that case, that will not be considered if you have already taken the permission from that particular journal. At the same time, the references, the bibliography, table of content, preface, and acknowledgement, all these things will not be considered while checking the plagiarism. Because if you consider all the things within the which is available in the manuscript, then the plagiarism will be definitely more. So such things you will have to explore while you're this checking the plagiarism. Then all the generic term, laws, standard symbol, and standard equation, all these things should not be checked for your plagiarism. Only the body part where you have written such kind of yeah, like the introduction part, the literature review survey part, all these things that will be thoroughly checked, and it should be free for the plagiarism. Now, according to this rule of UGC, University Grant Commission, they have, this, they have given such kind of, your proposal. Yes, they have given such kind of order for the construction of such kind of committee, like in the department level, it is considered to be DAIP, and for the institute level, it will be a IAIP. What is DAIP? It is basically the Departmental Academic Integrity Panel. Similarly, IAIP will discuss in the later slide. That is basically the Institutional Academic Integrity Panel. Now, a proper construction should be there, and for the construction of this panel, some rule and regulations are there, and that has been made by the UGC, and the institute will have to follow the rule. What are the rules? Just we are pointing out here. See, for in each committee, in each panel, there will be this four member you can consider. Likewise, one is the chairman. Generally, head of the department. Generally, he will be the chairman of that particular panel. At the same time, who will be the member? You can keep 2 to 3 member on that. The member would be one senior academician from outside the department. If you are, if you are making a panel for your department, in that case you will consider a member from other department or who will be a member of that particular panel. And also the other member, he will be a person with a anti-plagiarism tool to be nominated by the head of the department. Means within the department, if someone is having a good knowledge related to the plagiarism checking, plagiarism, yeah, use of plagiarism checking tool and all, in that case, the HOD of the particular department, he can nominate someone. Yeah, we can nominate that particular person to be a member of that particular panel. And the tenure of the member in respect of this, this outside of the department and within the department will be for 2 years. And the quorum for the meeting shall be, 2 out of 3 members, including the chairman. Means whenever the meeting will happen, in that case, at least 2 out of the 3 members, they will have to present. Otherwise, the meeting cannot be conducted. It is not necessary to present all 3 members. If 2 members are present, then the meeting they can conduct. Then this DAIP, they shall follow the principle of natural justice while deciding about the allegation of plagiarism against the student, faculty, researchers, and staffs. Also, this DAIP, they shall have the power to assess the level of plagiarism and recommend the penalties accordingly. Later on slide, we'll tell what are the penalties that the particular researchers or research scholar has to face if they are doing some kind of unethical thing on the basis of their this your plagiarism issues. They will have to face the consequence on the basis of that only. That the capacity of this DAIP will be there on the basis of their your your level of plagiarism issues. The departmental academic integrity panel, they can they can give the they can recommend for the penalties to that particular person. Then the DAIP, after investigation, shall submit its report with the recommendation on the penalties to the imposed to the IAIP, that we'll discuss in the later slide, within a period of 45 days from the date of receipt of complaint of the proceeding. Means once they observe that someone within the department that is doing some kind of this unethical research, he is caught by doing some kind of by copying some kind of data, some kind of images from other papers, other journal. If the DAIC they found that one, then directly they will report that same thing to the IAIP. Then now we'll discuss what is your IAIP. This is basically your institutional academic integrity panel. Previous was it was related to the department. That means in each institute, suppose 10 departments are there, 20 departments are there. That means all the department will have a DAIP panel. That means departmental academic integrity panel. Similarly, for a particular institute, there will be a IAIP panel, a IAIP group. So in that case, the chairman will be, you can consider if it is a your institute like IITs, NITs. In that case, the director will be the this chairman of that. Else, if it is a university, like yeah, you can consider any university, in that case, the vice chancellor. The most senior most person will be the chairman. The topmost authority will be the chairman of that particular committee. Then the member would be like a senior academician, other than the chairman, to be nominated by the head of the HEI. Means the 3 member would be there. So out of the 3 member, one would be a senior academician from any department. It will be yeah, nominated by the head of this higher education institute. And the member, already the chairman is there. The chairman will not be a member. Other yeah, other people, yeah, other faculty, yeah, except the chairman, they can be the member. Similarly, the other member would be nominated by the head of the higher education institute from outside the HEI. Means in each panel, in the DAIP, someone will be outside the department, and IAIP, someone will be outside of the institute. Then the last member would be a person, same as the previous one, first with this anti-plagiarism tools to be nominated by the head of the higher educational institute. Means it is a committee of four people, and that out of the four people, one will be the chairman, and the chairman will be the higher authority, means the topmost position of that particular institute. If it is a IITs or NITs, any kind of technical institute, then in that case the director will be, yeah, or you can consider dean also as a this yeah, chairman. Then other than that, one person will be outside of the particular institute. Then one will, out of the two, one will be the senior faculty, a senior professor, and the other one will be the person who will have the knowledge related to this anti-plagiarism tool software. Some important point related to TAIP and IAIP. The chairman of both TAIP and IAIP, they will not be same. What happens if in a particular institute, the HOD, if the HOD of the department is a director, if if someone is holding two posts, in that case, that particular person cannot be the head of both DAIP and IAIP. So the quorum for the meeting shall be 3 out of 4 members, including the chairman. Then this IAIP shall consider the recommendation of your DAIP. Generally, whatever problem will occur within the department, that departmental academic your departmental academic integral panel, they will have to give the information to IAIP, and they will take the action, and they will do the process according to the recommendation by this DAIP. This IAIP, they shall also investigate the cases of plagiarism as per the provisions mentioned in this regulation. The regulation will discuss in the later slide. Then the IAIP, they shall follow the principles of natural justice while deciding about the allegation of plagiarism against the student, faculties, and researchers and the staff of this HAI. These are the important points related to this the DAIP and IAIP. Both are interrelated to each other. Now, also some important point. This IAIP, they shall have the power to review the recommendation of DAIP, including the penalties with due justification. If the DAIP, they are giving such kind of penalties, giving a kind of penalties to the particular faculty member, particular student whose thesis or dissertation or paper is under plagiarism issues, in that case, that particular person can challenge in front of this IAIP, and they can review that particular judgment given by their DAIP. Then this IAIP, they shall send the report after investigation and the recommendation of penalties to be imposed to the head of the HGI within a period of 45 days from the date of receipt of the recommendation of DAIP or complaint or initiation of the proceeding. So these are the things no one can do according to their own. They have to follow such kind of rule regulation, and they have to work accordingly. Then this IAIP, they shall provide a copy of the report to the person against whom the inquiry report is submitted. Means whatever report they are making for a particular person, for which they are for a particular person which is under the scanner for the plagiarism issues, they have to give a copy of the report to that particular person. So these are the important rule and regulation, important point related to your DAIP and IAIP. Both are important for the institute. One is for the department level, other one is for the institute level, and both are correlated with each other. Both are connected with each other. Means DAIP, whatever justification, whatever judgment they will get, they will give. That IIP, they will have to review that one, and they will work accordingly. At the same time, the committees, construction of the committees, there is some rule and regulation. No person, a single person cannot be the head of a chairman of both the committee. These are all things all institute has to think before the construction of DAIP and IAIP. Now this detection, reporting, and handling of plagiarism. How this detection or reporting or handling of plagiarism that happens. If any member of the academic community suspects with appropriate proof that a case of plagiarism has happened in any documents, he or she shall report it to the departmental academic integrity panel. If someone has having some kind of doubt that that particular person is done some kind of unethical thing in his research work or in his PhD thesis and all, he can directly report to the DAIP or chairman of the DAIP. Then upon receipt of such a complaint or allegation, the DAIP they shall investigate the member and submit its recommendation to the IAIP of the higher educational institute. When that particular person is reporting the DAIP, now this DAIP the such complaint, the DAIP what they will do is they will investigate the matter and they will submit a kind of recommendation. Yeah, what they will submit a kind of report to the IAIP, means whether the allegation was right, whether the allegation was wrong, and if the allegation was right, then what or yeah, this penalties he has to face, all these things, the recommendation he will have to give to the IAIP. Then the authority of this HEI can also take this sumo to notice of an act of plagiarism and initiate the proceedings under this regulation. Similarly, the proceeding can also be initiated by this HEI on the basis of finding of the examination. First of all, what is this sumo to notice? It is a term given to the action given by an authority on its own will. Generally, it is a judicial kind of terms, a judicial kind of notice. This sumo to notice, it is judicially and the judiciary that usually takes the action once a case of cause is brought before it by a party. Means if someone has made some kind of serious things, serious issues, and and that thing is so that particular case is going to the court or to the yeah, this judiciary, then that will be considered to be a submittal notice, and in that case some severe consequences has to face by the particular authors or particular research scholars. Then all such cases will be investigated by this IAIP. Whatever things are happening, that all these things that will be regulated by this IAIP of that higher educational institute. Now here some kind of penalties. What kind of penalties that research scholars or the faculty member they will have to face if they are doing some kind of unethical issues, if they are having some kind of plagiarism issues for the PhD thesis or the dissertation. The rules, the your penalties is bit different, and if it is for a research article, writing a research article, they're submitting a research article by the faculty member or by the research scholar, that it will be also different thing. And dissertation and this, I'm pointing out something related to the dissertation and the thesis. Generally, if you see the difference between these two, what happens in the internet also, in United States the meaning is bit different, and in Europe the meaning is bit different. In United States they consider the dissertation as the PhD writing, that is considered to be a dissertation, whereas the thesis is for the MTech lecture, a MTech year work, that is considered to be thesis. They see that generally dissertation is bit more lengthy as compared to the thesis. But in Europe, I think it is the just opposite one. They consider the PhD one as the your thesis, and this your MTech thesis and all, yeah, MS thesis and all, that is considered to be a dissertation. But maximum people, it is my personal experience, they used to tell that your dissertation is the PhD work and your thesis is the MTech work. But in India, I think we used to consider the PhD work as the thesis. So we'll go according to our own country's term. So the MTech thesis we consider as a dissertation and your PhD as a thesis, because whenever we write something we write in your PhD, that is considered to be a thesis. Means PhD report is considered to be a thesis in India. But in United States, the rule is bit different. It's opposite of that. So now in this particular slide, the plagiarism, content of the plagiarism, on the basis of that, what kind of consequence or what kind of penalties the particular author has to face is written out here. If means they have given the level like level 1, level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, like that they have given the name. Level 0 means is the minimum issues, a minimum plagiarism. If the plagiarism is within your 10%, that means it is your level 0. In that case, no penalties will be there. Means it is okay, fine. The work which you have done, that is perfectly all right. Then what is level 1? If the plagiarism issues is in between 10 to 40%. Now, if this 10 to 40% plagiarism will be there in case of a thesis, then what penalties that particular person will have to face, and if it is there in case of a research article, a research publication, then what penalties he has to face, it is mentioned out here also. If it is for the thesis, then the resubmission of revised script by the student within a time period not exceeded 6 months. Means if someone found that no, the plagiarism in that particular thesis is more, a dissertation is more, in that case, the that particular person will get a maximum 6 months to resubmit that one. That will be invalid one. That submitted thesis, it will not be considered, and again he will get a chance to resubmit his work. And for the your research article and all, with the university will force that particular person, a particular researchers, the faculty member, to withdraw the particular article from that journal if it is in between your 10 to 40%. It is the level 1 where level 1 plagiarism issues, and for that the penalty is that. Now for level 2, if the plagiarism is in between your 40 to 60%, in that case what will happen, that if someone is having a plagiarism of 40 to 60% in his dissertation or thesis, that particular research scholar will debar for submitting the revised script for a year. Means you will not be able to submit that particular thesis for the next year. Suppose you are submitting the thesis now and you observe that the plagiarism in that particular thesis is in between your 40 to 60%. That means next 1 year you will not be able to submit that particular thesis in the institute. After that, again, means within that 1 year, you have to check all the things which you have done in the thesis. You have to again check the plagiarism. Then after 1 year, then you will be eligible to submit the this thesis. That is basically for the thesis and dissertation. And if the plagiarism will be there in case of an article and it is between, if it is in between your 40% to 60%, then the candidate will be asked to withdraw the particular manuscript and be denied a right to one annual increment. Means if he is a assistant professor, if he is a faculty member of a particular institute, what will happen in that case, the increment will be stopped for at least 1 year. That means according to the rule for 1 year. So along with not being allowed to supervise a new master degree, PhD student or scholars for a period of 2 years. If such kind of things is happening for a person who is working within a institute, in that case, his increment will be stopped, and he will not be able to guide any PhD, master degree, PhD and postgraduate student for the next 2 years. It's a very serious issue, so you have to be very much careful while checking the plagiarism. And once you will be sure, then only you should submit that one. Now this for level 3, it is a severe consequences you have to face if you are doing if your plagiarism is here more than 60%. If that 60% is the 60% is there for a thesis or dissertation, in that case the registration for the program of that particular student will be cancelled. That is a very serious issue. Means you have, suppose you completed the work for 4 years, 5 years in the PhD. At the end, you did not check the plagiarism report of your thesis, and you submitted that one to the institute. And after that, it observed that your plagiarism in that particular thesis or dissertation is more than 60%. In that case, what will happen? Your registration will be cancelled. So, you should be very much careful before submitting your final thesis. That should be less than 10% according to the level 01. Then there will be no penalties, but rest of the time you will have to pay some kind of penalties. Then if it is for a research articles, and that particular person, a particular faculty member, a employee, he will be asked to withdraw the manuscript and be denied a right to two annual increment in succession. Means it's two consecutive, this annual increment will be stopped if the plagiarism is more than 60%. And at the same time, along with not being allowed to supervise to any new master and PhD scholar for the period of 3 years. So it is really a serious issue if someone is working in a good institute, any institute after PhD, if is not entitled to guide a PhD scholar or MTech scholar. It's kind of same for the particular person. So very much careful for the research scholar as well as the faculty member who is doing such kind of mistake, and or those who are finding such kind of plagiarism and all before submitting the article, before submitting the thesis or dissertation. You should check your plagiarism and try to reduce that one up to the level by which there will be no penalties at all. Now, some kind of other circumstances where the plagiarism is observed means, likewise, it is saying that if someone is repeatedly doing the plagiarism, that means, suppose you submitted the article, in that case, suppose 20% plagiarism were observed. Again, the next time when you submit the article, same 20% plagiarism, at 25% plagiarism it is observed. In that case, also different kind of rules are there. You will have to face according to the particular rule. Same thing is there for the thesis and dissertation. If repeated plagiarism issues would be there, that means the punishment of the plagiarism would be that of one level higher than the previous level committed by the student, where plagiarism of highest level is committed, then the same punishment is given at the highest level shall be operative. I am telling you that suppose at the starting level, you check the plagiarism, it was suppose in between 20 to 40. Now the university, he gave you a chance that you have to wait for this 6 months. You waited for 6 months, you rewrite, suppose you rewrite your manuscript, and again you submit it. Then again, if it is observed that same kind of plagiarism is there, means if the plagiarism is in between your 20 to 30, in that case what will happen? The next level, your penalties you will have to face. Means the penalties for above 60% plagiarism you will have to face. Means if you are submitting a your article, in that case your registration may be get cancelled. All these things which we had discussed, that consequence you will have to face according to the rule. Then for the publication, what will happen? The candidate will ask to withdraw the manuscript and punish for the plagiarism of one level higher than the lower level committed by that particular person. Means same as the thesis and the thesis, same thing will have to face to that particular faculty. If it is in between that to your within that 40%, then the the consequences you will have to face will be related to the consequences of more than 60%. Means just one level higher than the your level of this your plagiarism, that you have to face. Then in case of the level 3 offense, if someone at the starting also he did his mistake, his plagiarism was more than 60, again when he's resubmitted, his plagiarism is suppose more than 60. In that case, a stringent disciplinary action will be there over that particular person. He or she may terminated from his job if he will do repeatedly. It is very, very, very important for the research, for the researchers, for the faculty member who is doing, who is an active researchers, and then he does not do related to that. You have to be very much careful. Means at some stage you may lose your job, or you may, you know, I can say terminate. Yes, you may get the suspension from your job. But you have to be very, very much careful while submitting the articles, or while submitting the, this, you can say that, your thesis or dissertation. Now, some penalties where the degree and has been already, obtained. Means I'm taking one example, like your suppose you submitted a article, you submitted the thesis, and it got approved. Okay, you got the degree. Then after that, suppose it has been observed that there is a plagiarism issue, and in that case, what will happen? If the plagiarism is proved at any point later than the date of award of the degree or credit, as the case may be, then the student degree or credit shall be out of its abeyance for a period recommended by the IAIP and approved by the head of the institution. Means the degree may be revoked. He may his degree may be cancelled for a duration on the basis of the recommendation by the IAIP. If you should not think that once I submitted my thesis, means after that there will be no chance of this plagiarism issues. At any point of the time, if it is observed that there is some plagiarism issues related to your article, in that case, you have to also face the serious consequence. That's why before submitting any article, you have to check thoroughly whether there is any kind of plagiarism is there. If it is there, whether it is within the permissible limit or not, whether it is in level 0 or not. If it is more than that, please try to rectify that one, and you resend, and you send or submit the thesis in the institution. And for this academic research publication, what will happen if the plagiarism is proved on a date later than the date of benefits or credit obtained, as in this case, what will happen? His or her benefit or credit shall be put in abeyance for a period recommended by IAIP and approved by the head of the institution. Same case he has to also face if that particular faculty member, if it is observed that after certain, after publication of that article, if it found that in that article some kind of plagiarism issues is there, then also he has to face this consequence. The same time, next condition is if the procedure is in case of the plagiarism where the head of the institution or any head of the member, any head of the DAIP or IAIP or the member of DAIP or IAIP, in that case also they will have to face such kind of consequences, such kind of penalties, and for them some different rules are there. If the head of the particular DAIP or IAIP, in that case a suitable action to be taken as recommended by the IAIP and approved by the concerned authority. Means if your HOD of that department, means the DAIP head, if he is doing such kind of mistake, at the same time the head of IAIP, generally the head of the institution, you can consider, in that case also the uh, IAIP committee, they will recommend such case, they will recommend some kind of penalties to that particular person. Then on the basis of that, he has to face the this particular your penalties. Then if some members of DAIP and IIP, if they also face such kind of things, then the member shall excuse himself or herself from meetings with his or her case in being discussed and investigated. In that case also, the membership will be revoked. At the same time, he has to face different challenges, different penalties. same as the previous cases. So no one will be, no one will be get rid of this kind of this serious unethical problem. If he's a head of the institute, if he's a head of the committees, if he's a member of the committee, everyone has to face such kind of consequence. The rule is almost same for everyone. Now, here I have pointed out some of the, this retracted article. Particularly these are all inside India. See, this is a news article. It was there. I think it was in 2018 or 19 like that. I guess I'm not sure about the date. The Bach scientists copied own work for journal articles. That is basically called as the self-plagiarism. If you are copying your own work and you are trying to publish in some other journal, in that case also it will be considered under your plagiarism, or it will be considered as the self-plagiarism. So in that case also you have to be very much careful. Because why I'm telling this thing, the reason is sometimes some people they do not know about this thing. They think that it is my work as it is published. I can use my work at any time or in any next paper, but that is completely wrong. Once you are publishing your article in a journal means that particular article belongs to that journal. You are the author of the particular article. That is right, but the permission is the permission will not be with you once you have published. Means the permission, the ownership. I can say that that will be with that journal only. You have to seek permission. You have to take permission from the journal. If you're using any image, if you're using any kind of data, anything if you're using, then you have to take the permission from that particular journal. So this Bach scientist, he copied his own work for the journal article. At the same time, some of the this article, see, it was in a very prestigious journal published by Elsevier, and then this paper it got retracted. This paper got retracted, and the institute, you will not believe this institute. It is here, India Institute of Science from Bangalore. Uh, the faculty member of that institute also, they have faced such kind of problem. This article is retracted, and see, if you search this article, it will available in the internet, and it will be showing as a retracted. It will be a ultimate shame for the particular faculty member. If your article is getting retracted, it will be showing in the internet as retracted, means anyone will be understood that you have done some kind of unethical thing in this particular work. So in this case, see, some of the institute, lot of your good institute, your premier institute in India, like your IITs, your NITs, you can consider some research laboratories, or this ISM, your this ITBHU, maximum premier institute. Yeah, a lot of premier institute, they have faced such kind of problem, yeah, plagiarism related issues, and maximum institute, some of the researchers, their article has been retracted by the scientific community. So as for this Indian scenario, I'm telling, see, this thing happens throughout the world. I'm not telling that only in India this thing happens. Still, if you check the statistic, our country is way ahead of other countries. That's why we have to be very much careful. We should not do this kind of unethical thing while writing the article, while publishing the article, while writing the thesis, while submitting the PhD thesis. In that case, we have to be very much careful before submitting the thesis to the university, before submitting the thesis this article to the journal, because once once you will be in the radar of the particular journal. What will happen, next time whenever you will send that particular things to that particular journal, what will happen, what I can say is, mm, uh, they will take all of your serious work also in the negative way. That's why uh, these are the basic thing you should know. As all the universities within India, all are affiliated by your UGC. So UGC has made such kind of rule, and all research scholars, all faculty member, all research active researchers, they should know all kind of rule. And before submitting any article, they should check their plagiarism, and if they found that it is not within that prescribed limit, they have to change the manuscript according to that, and they have to make it below 10%. That is the rule by UGC. You have to follow that. And also some other cases I have pointed out here, like this is the retraction of some of the university, Indian university. Now, the conclusion, what I have done out here from this UGC, plagiarism rule, that why they have, they have yeah, made such kind of rule and all. The conclusion is this new UGC regulation on plagiarism are adapted to meet every needy every need of maintaining quality and integrity in the academic circuits, just to make a good academic activity, just to maintain a good quality. This kind of rule they have made, by which what will happen, there will be no conflict of interest, there will be no issues within the researchers, and it's aimed to provide a stringent checkpoint and system to be integrated in the educational institute, and are very well detailed and leave no stones unturned. As due to that act, nowadays, if you see the statistics, almost all the institute they are using the anti-plagiarism software and the plagiarism checking software, basically the plagiarism checking software. And right now, this Orkun they have made available to all the institute. That means any institute under UGC, they will be easily available. That one, it is cheap also. If you compare the price of this Urkund as compared to the Turnitin and Authenticate, 10 times more, yeah, 10 times less than the Authenticate and Turnitin, the price of the Urkund. That is also important. And these key highlights of the regulation include the addition of the definition of academic integrity, as well as provision of the departmental academic integrity panel and the institutional academic integrity panel to check and enforce the regulation and maintain a certain high education standard for research and academic submission for any and all higher education institute. And with this regulation, the institute has a core responsibility to ensure working in direction of curbing the plagiarized content and uphold academic integrity. That is also very vital. And with access to unlimited information on a subject matter, it is easy to compile the content without putting effort on analyzing the content for relevance. At the same time, however, with strict regulation, the author will be under a liabilities to ensure the original creation, which will ultimately help the author with overall academic and intellectual growth. So, from this, particular this act, particular this rule of this UGC, what we observed that what they have done is just to make a quality work, quality research work, and there should not be any kind of conflict related to the plagiarism. And the researchers, they will use that entire plagiarism software, a plagiarism checking tool, by which they will minimize that one. So this rule they have used, by which what will happen at the end, the plagiarism issue will not be there, and there will be no chance of this kind of interaction, this kind of or here where this PhD degree and this cancellation of PhD degree, cancellation of termination of the job of a faculty member. This thing will not be there if everyone will follow the for this kind of rule which has been given by this UGC. That's why these are the most important point given by this UGC, and it is in UGC plagiarism rule. And if you want to check this thing, you can go through the UGC website. You'll find the PDF file where all this rule has been properly mentioned, and it has been circulated to all the higher education institute under University Grant Commission. So you can check out there, and you can go through all this rule given by UGC. Okay, thank you.